started like maybe 12, 13 years ago, and we've been using the system ever since. It's in many cases utilizing this system, which is integrated bioenergy with acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture, and so we ended up using learning more about the different Chinese what like if you turn around and you look at our chart there,
the five element system of Chinese medicine.
Chinese 5-element system, which basically took us into the whole bioenergy system that you see right here, which is now known as Raymedy. So anyway, the use that we did, I probably had over 8,000 treatments. That's only like, I'm talking about patients like that. The treatments is far beyond that, because multiple treatments per patient, and so there's a lot of experience in from things from like even cancer. We had a lot of cases to do with high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart issues. One thing stood out was, because we took it even further, we started to use that in some of our patients' water, as a water treatment, by putting the beamers onto a gallon of water and treating them 3 minutes with whatever specific remedy that we might use as the technician or practitioner running the system. And so stuff that help people lose weight, but their blood pressure down, and because of the growth of the system and Mark, who's been at the forefront of the technology, what happened was, I think the technology ran into more, just getting more to the 21st century, getting ahead of everything else. But in the meantime, we're in the community actually working people, on a daily basis for years. And the results has been phenomenal. We've lost patients, but we were like the last resort to come to. But even though we lost some of them, which was like leukemia and some stage, they were past stage 4. But a lot of these people, when they came and got treatment from us, we used different treatments, Dolotron, whatever elements was going on for them that was having problem, we would try to boost it up by using certain, remedies to help that. So I've had experience on fractured bones. From a little kid who fractured his collarbone, hairline fracture, but he came to me on a Monday or Tuesday. He ended up playing football the end of the week, training. He was the quarterback. And then what basically I had done is the bone fracture, the system, utilizing, I think it was post-traumatron and Dolotron, actually fused the bone back together, fused that hairline fracture. Because he could throw, he could lift up his, he could do a lot of stuff that he couldn't do prior to coming here that morning. Now mind you, I gave him only one treatment, just one treatment. It was with the light pen on the affected area. And Friday he was back in the football field. And and that's one of many cases. I had not an acupuncturist, but he worked with me for a while, a chiropractor, who went out surfing in Waikiki, and the board hit his ribs, cracked 3 of his ribs. He was told that it probably gonna take him 4 months to even get, Anyway, he came in, the treatment again. In 4 weeks, his fractured ribs were healed, fused back. He's back out surfing, that after that 4 weeks. And since that time, many more injuries like that, sprained ankles, anything that was inflamed through a traumatic hit damage and stuff like that would actually come back together again by using the Raymedy system. So yeah, Mark, you've amazed me that time. You still amaze me on how you think about all these things. And but I can tell you that I use this system a lot. And I can tell you that I've seen amazing things, transformation, even mental health cases, people that came back from war, whether it was in Vietnam. I've had many PTSD cases. One guy was a SEAL, I remember in Maui. And believe it or not, again, the system created with all the different remedies helped us treating some of these patients. And it's amazing because in other cases I've had with the children have a lot of that, not ADD, but autism.
Yes.
I worked with this girl who had no control as a little girl, and in fact she was on steroids because that's how they try to control a lot of that stuff. But what the steroid was doing was making her body old, and yet she's a baby. But her symptoms, when I went on and just checked her basic readout, she was like, somebody that had, it's like a baby in an old body. 60, 70 years old could have been because the energy is so low. So I worked with her for almost a year, to the point where the girl, like, she came out of it, eventually grew up into, this was years ago, but I know the critical cases that we had, it was like a blessing that this Raymedy system could help do that. Because people couldn't believe till they came in. And I cannot think of, right now, just tons and tons of cases.
How about Amy and her dialysis?
No, even my sister. My sister was on dialysis, but every time she came in to get treatment, she always had an urge to use the bathroom and stuff like that. I know because the body is like being, rejuvenated. All her functions is trying to work. But because she was on a dialysis machine, it was like a conflict going on too. So we would do the treatments anyway, just so she could have pain relief, in that area, right? And but even her, she's passed on now. But even her, always was amazed because, we gave them, this system gave them more time on earth than they had. It really did. And not just my sister, but plenty of people. And you get people around us right now that probably forgot that this thing treated them. I had cases where people had no feeling in their hand, was too tender, pain. We would use Cicatrón. Cicatrón is one of the remedies used to get scars circulating, especially old scars. We do that as a training from Mark on the women especially, because they give birth, and that is the first trauma and the first scar that you use. That's why we use, in the beginning, you use the scar treatment, right? Cicatrón. So yeah, you know, it's like, and I'm talking from experience, not, you know, I'm not gonna find, I think, more experienced people than myself and Kate are in Hawaii. No way, bar none. We've tried stuff off the scale where we thought it, you know, it's too long. If we keep, we call this treatment we use this kind of like agitate the point.
Conditioning.
Yeah, it's well in acupuncture they do that to
Stimulate it.
Stimulate it.
Yeah.
Turn the needle, you know, and stuff like that. So we kind of use that theory, which in some cases I noticed that it would really help. For the weaker people, that would be so good for them at the time, but they would lose their energy after, which was a concern too, that they might be doing something and not resting. And yeah, they would have enough energy. You know, after the treatment, they would go out and in the nighttime cleaning yard or something like that. Of course, you know, that's not good because you just got it. You know, your body is like never felt that in a long time, right?
That's right.
You know, the rebalancing, the rejuvenation that you receive right after the treatment. And mind you, it's you know, I'd really like to put more study into what we're doing and keep a really good record on things, because filling this stuff out on the patient, you know, I used to have 20 patients a day here, and at times both rooms I had 2 machines going on. Then I had other people that was, you know, helping and running the systems as well. So we have people that know how to use this. It may not necessarily be according to, you know, how you've taught things, Mark and Hank, yeah.
Hank, yes.
Who was the acupuncturist at that time. But a lot has changed, Mark. You know, today is February 17, 2017. Hey, 1717, 11717.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, Kata said we needed to help you out to get the word out. And, you know, this is a pleasure. It's not to help you out. It's a pleasure to let you know that what you've built, this system, has done wonders for thousands of people. And I can tell you that, and I can name some very popular, important people in Hawaii, from Antipua Kanahelere, Kanakaoles. Don Ho was one of my patients. I mean, you know, everybody knows Don Ho. In fact, Don Ho was so weak that I treated him downtown, gave him a basic treatment. His color, his tone, his skin color came back after the treatment, and he was able to get a stem cell treatment later on, a month after I treated him in one of the Asian countries. And then eventually he passed on, but I've treated, you know, the owner of Grace Pacific, who passed away. He had cancer. Mayor Awakawa, I treated him in Maui, you know, and he was blown away. I treated him and his secretary. And again, it was like, you know, it was something that we were trying to make a living on, you know, but at minimal, because we were doing it basically for donations and stuff like that. So when I think about it now, we're probably much more prepared to really make Raymedy a big part of our nation's national healthcare program. And so, Mark, I want to, you know, thank you for bringing these technologies around. I know you've taken it even further. We would like to seriously get somehow some kind of agreement going with you now on anything that we do in developing the nation. because it's taken a long time, but the nation is on the rise. We're in several countries: Japan, China, and South Korea. And Aloha Coin is our connection to Japan. Aloha Coin is also the nation of Hawaii's monetary system. So we can talk about how we can do things in that area. Maybe you can even help us develop blockchain technology. You might know about that stuff, bro. So, you know, I can go on about the stories. I've treated animals, dogs, chickens, chicks. You know, like, you know, I would give them digestron, and the chicks. The chick was supposed to die. You know, we had 24. So one of them was the smallest. So my daughter went out and put the beamer on the chick, or what the chicken, and put the beamer on the chick, just for a minute, and it kind of like went drowsy and fell down. The next morning we came in, and the chick was flying all over the place. You know, and I've had children, babies, like infants, 2-3 years old, that had constipation. I've used digestron, treated the water. One grandfather who had PTSD from Vietnam, the grandfather of this child came for treatment. Then he was telling me that his grandson had constipation. So I gave him the water, he went home, took the boy home, called me up. Not too long, a few hours after that, said, man, this kid made a mess all over the place. And again, you know, the system is powerful. The creation that you have created, it works. I like the hands-on though, Mo. Like this, you know, all the basic stuff, right? I like the hands-on when you're treating or working on people. I cannot help myself. And I know that Raymedy has taken it even further to where we can just tap in and do all this stuff. But not everybody has technology. At least from the community I come from. I know they don't have that kind of capability of connect and all that. And but we wanna make sure that we keep our relationship going. I hope this continues to help build our relationship with you, Mark, and your new company. But the blockchain technology, if you think about that, I think that's really important. You're probably on the cusp or deal with that stuff because of the securities you would use on your own technology, right? License and all that stuff to you know, get into the stuff, right? So we came a long way, my friend, and I hope to work with you very soon. Kira's over here. You know, it's kind of good that we get in this discussion, and look forward to seeing you when you can. Hang in there now, Mark. The world is not going to end. It's just beginning. That's how the beginning starts. When it gets bad, then the beginning starts. So let's do it. Take care. Aloha.